Yeah.
Adventure time!
We just want to thank you all.
Are we applauding? Is there anyone else coming in? Beautiful. All right, lock the doors. Get the gas vents open. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the evil editor of the Adventure Time Encyclopedia, Eric Clockford! Thank you!
First of all, a big thank you to everyone for coming and for waiting for so long. We had a few Comic-Con scofflaws who wouldn't leave unless we have to do lightning round 2 of the panel. We'll try to get your Q&As in. We have 30 minutes, and we're going to start off with a little video we prepared for you. Go.
What the? Who are you, imbeciles? Of all history's greatest fools, you are by far the most idiotic group I have ever encountered. I, Hudson Abadir, ruler of the Nightosphere, command you to leave immediately. Humans do not even vaguely qualify to read this. Now get out. Leave.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been banished from this panel. Upon exiting, please deposit your souls in one of the properly marked bins. Thank you, and have a happy weekend here at Comic-Con.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to take, oh yeah, let's have them on the video. I'd like to introduce our distinguished panel here. First off, we have Martin Olson, who's author of the Encyclopedia of Hell from Feral House, as well as the Adventure Time Encyclopedia, and he plays Lord of Evil on Adventure Time. We have Olivia Olson, Martin's real-life daughter, who plays his evil daughter, Marceline the Vampire Queen. We have voice actress Jessica DeChico, who plays Flame Princess on Adventure Time. We have Mahendra Singh, all the way from Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Evil illustrator and a friend to both man and beast. And we have Celeste Moreno, who is another evil illustrator, but also the art director for the book. And she's a character designer for Phineas and Ferb and voice of Ted the Marshmallow?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Martin, I kind of thought you were going to write The Enchiridion. How'd you end up writing this book instead?
Does everyone here know what the Enchiridion is?
Yeah.
All right, so that was supposed to be the book. Penn had called up and said, you need to write the Enchiridion. The powers that be felt that it would be better to do an overview of the book, of the series, but Penn wanted me to write it in character, so it became more of a humor book and more of a crazy satire of the show.
Wait, in character, so you also play the voice of Hudson Abadir on the show. How'd that happen in the first place?
Olivia he had heard Olivia on Phineas and Ferb and wanted her voice for Marceline the Vampire Queen. And so he approached me and said, hey, is she open to doing another show and so on? So it happened just because he heard her on that show. And then he, talking to me, he was a fan of my book, Encyclopedia of Hell. And the illustrators were Mahendra Singh and Celeste Moreno over here on my first book, Encyclopedia of Hell. And Penn was such a fan of it, he said, could you have the same illustrators and write the book as Hudson Abadir, your character? Oh, how did I become Hudson Abadir? It was because he was a fan of the book. He hired me to write the book, and then he said, hey, your daughter plays Marceline. Would you please play her father on the show? And I said, I'm not an actor, Penn, you're an idiot. What are you talking about? And he said, no, you're an idiot, because just do what I say and come down and I'll tell you exactly what to do. You don't have to even be able to act. So the rest is history.
Well, did you find it difficult then to channel the voice of that character when writing the book? And Did you have a steady diet of, say, French fries while you were writing?
There actually was a backstory to that because I did used to eat all of Olivia's take-home food.
I baked a cake for my friend's birthday and it said "Happy Birthday Alexa" on it, and I woke up the next morning and there was a giant slice out of it. I didn't know you were saving that for something. No, I just like to decorate birthday cakes and like eat them all to myself.
I'm evil, what can I say?
Olivia, maybe can you speak a little bit to what it's like having your real father play your fictional father on television?
It's like I can't escape him.
When you had to work with him on the book too, that's your handwriting in the marginalia, yes?
Yeah, so I basically got to, you know, how he was writing it in character. I got to give him sort of my own notes, but as Marceline too, I would kind of tell him, you can't write that because that character is doing this and he likes her, and he's like, oh, okay. So I kind of schooled him a little bit on the land of Ooh, and he really had to research the show quite a bit.
I couldn't remember some things. It was a team effort. But all the way through the book, that is actually Olivia's handwriting as Marceline, along with Finn and Jake.
Well, and Olivia, you also play an evil guy's daughter on Phineas and Ferb. What's up with that?
Must be got an evil voice or something.
Yeah, you're typecast. You can forget about it.
Jessica, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about how you came to be involved with the show, and is it as fun to work on as it is to watch?
Adventure Time is the most fun show ever. So,
It is.
It's great. It's the best show to work on. The people are so awesome. Yeah, I auditioned for it, which is atypical because usually they have an idea of who they want. So I got lucky that they opened Flame Princess up, the audition, up to voice actors, and I did a little research and I watched some YouTube clips, and I'm like, Adventure Time. I totally fell in love with the show, and I hoped I got the part, and I did, and I got so lucky. So yeah,
Thank goodness
here we
I
are.
got you, Jess. That's great.
Well, as a fan, what was the hardest spoiler to sit on? Because I know you're really active on Twitter as well.
Oh yeah, I just did a scavenger hunt today for everybody. I don't know. I mean, the truth is, like, we don't really know what's going to happen until we get the the storyboard. It's like this thick, and they drop it off in front of your door, and so we don't really know. So people
Of your character, you know?
just what?
Just your character itself is probably the biggest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like, I don't know. I'm hoping that they get back together. That Finn and Princess get back together.
Mahendra, this is the second book that you illustrated for Martin Olson. Why?
Why? It's very simple. The Encyclopedia of Hell was such a good book that I knew Martin could do even better.
Well, that's good.
Well, and as you see with the cover, Mahendra did the centerpiece illustrations. It did a fantastic job. Applause. But Celeste, you were art director and illustrator. What was it like working on page after page of unmitigated evil? What did you channel?
I blocked it all out. No memory.
Just auto drawing, okay.
A total auto drawing. I watched the show, like I have my drawing board and then another computer right there, and I just watch the show and just draw like a zombie.
Two of my favorite illustrators right here. I was very lucky to get them. So
Yeah, you were
thank
very
you.
lucky to have them. So we have a quick slideshow of some images from the book that Martin's going to talk about very briefly. Then we have a trailer for the book that was created by Adam Franklin and Rich Dorado. And then we'll open things up to a Q&A.
Well, this is the frontispiece of the book, which was a weird circumstance, because this was actually painted by the most, it came from an inexplicable source, which was a Cartoon Network executive painted this, who happens to be a genius who has to shunt down his brilliance all the time in order to go to meetings there. And he is basically Rick Blanco, one of the finest artists, and he painted that as gifted to us. It's now in her bedroom. This is just a warning that says don't read the book. You'll see what I mean. This comes from the brain of the beautiful woman at the end of the panel, Celeste Moreno. That's actually in her head. Beware or die in a cocoon of phlegm. I salute you, Celeste. This is one of the character pictures of Finn, of course, done by Tony Millionaire, who was also one of Penn Ward's favorites.
In every picture Tony Millionaire did, he put the snail hidden somewhere.
So did
Yeah, he did too.
Yeah.
Celeste and Mahendra also hid the snail, sure.
Not to mention the secret code hidden all throughout the book.
Yes, the secret codes hidden through the book. This is by Renee French, who also joined us as illustrator, which was excellent. This is the origin of Hanson.
Oh wait, did you see the snail?
This is from the genius brain of Mahendra Singh. This stunning, insane drawing of the plates that are in the minds of demons, from which the Encyclopedia of Adventure Time was then translated. This was by one of my favorite illustrators who also illustrated the book, Ashleen Romano, and she did a bunch of pictures of me and my daughter on the show. These are a series of just crazy pictures throughout the book. It's a completely insane book, I'm sure you already know. This is at the end, the book comes totally alive, and it urges you to stop reading it. This is a cover of the book before that had different color patterns that I thought was interesting. This is a cross-section of Godzilla. I have no idea.
That's from my fan fiction. Keep going.
This is where my daughter Olivia took a picture of herself and her doing the marginalia of the book after we told her not to. And this is the fight to the death we had after that. And that's it.
Yeah.
If you guys want to line up and start asking questions, come
We'll
on
screen
in.
the trailer really quickly, and then we can go right to the questions.
Don't listen to me.
I found a book in the woods, and I brought it back to my people. I like to read to them about a human and a dog and a canyon and a pink fish and a vampire girl and a little video game and a banana people and like I got angry, but it makes everybody happy, so it makes me happy.
That was by Adam Franklin and Rich Dorado, two of my favorite filmmakers.
And now, if you could line up, we'll have a brief Q&A. Assuming anyone has questions.
If you have questions,
if you
feel
don't,
free to line
it's
up,
fine.
please.
Can you sing something?
Oh my goodness. That's the best question ever.
All right.
Probably good.
Sure. La da 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 da, I'm gonna bury you in the ground. La da 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 da, I'm gonna bury you with my sound. I'm gonna drink the red from your pretty pink face. I'm gonna. Oh, you don't like that? Or do you just not like me? Sorry, I don't treat you like a goddess. Is that what you want me to do? Sorry, I don't treat you like you're perfect, like all your little loyal subjects do. Sorry, I'm not made of sugar. Am I not sweet enough for you? Is that why you always avoid me? That must be such an inconvenience to you. Well, I'm just your problem. I'm just your problem.
Last question ever. Hi, sir, what's your question?
Oh, well, follow that, I guess. Are there any talks of doing the Inquiry?
Doing what? I'm sorry.
Stay tuned. Wink.
Oh!
Yeah, great.
That's also an excellent question. Certainly something that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
We'll see. But thank you for bringing it up. He asked if we would be actually unearthing and translating the ancient scrolls that was the Enchiridion.
And the answer was maybe.
Maybe. Hi, what's your question, sir?
How much of the relationship shown on the show is based on your actual
Except for, when we are constantly trying to kill each other. But besides that, we have a very nice relationship.
It's the most fun thing ever to work with my daughter on the show.
Oh, we'll actually have a signing at 6:45 in the autograph area, table 21, and Martin and Olivia will be signing at the Abrams booth. That's 2228 tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Hi, what's your question?
I wanted to know, is there going to be more of Marceline and Ice King?
Oh, will there be more of Marceline and King backstory?
You will be seeing not so much anymore of the backstory, but there are some episodes coming up where Marceline and Ice King do interact.
Hello, everyone. My question is regarding whilst writing the book, you obviously looked up about information on all the characters. Is there any characters that you realized that you decided you liked more because writing the book you actually liked that character more than you did back then? Like which characters were your favorite to write about?
Certainly Peppermint Butler, the most ominous in creation, who also is my golf caddy. And he stands next to me with a silver platter when we play poker too. We had to leave off some major parts of the book, so that's why it was sort of more of a crazy book is what Penn wanted, rather than a factual, kind of a boring, dry thing, which is going to be done anyways, and is also on the internet anyway.
And it's all from your perspective, so
Which is necessarily limited.
Yes,
Lord of
perspective
Evil.
is evil.
Lord of Evil doesn't like anybody besides me, so.
That's right. But anyways, thanks for that question.
Thank you.
So the character of Marceline's one that's really grown with the show. How much of that was based on your initial performance and like give and take the first few Marceline episodes?
Definitely. The question was how. How did I get into it as she was like becoming more into the show? Or?
Yeah. How did you like influence her like process? Because it's one that's like grown more than they intended, right?
Yeah. When I first signed on to the project, it was interesting because I was still trying to figure out who the character was, what the hell this show was, because I had never seen anything like it, and the dialogue was just so left field. And if you don't read the storyboard, which sometimes I would skip out on doing, and then I'm just reading the words, and I'm like, what is going on? So it took me a while to kind of get the character, really set in stone, but working with, people like Tom Kenny and John DiMaggio, who are just insane voice talent, they have pushed me to be weirder and go louder and be more demonic and just have fun with it. So just kind of took it and ran,
Awesome. Trying to think here. when Penn Ward, I guess, like, was speaking to you, I guess, about the character of Marceline, the whole music element, I can tell by your voice and performance before, you're very good at singing. And was that a part of her character that he had planned, the whole singing thing, or?
Yeah, he always knew that Marceline, when you saw the character, when I went in for the first initial read, she had her guitar there, and that was who her character was. So they knew they needed someone who could sing, they needed her to be kind of the badass element of all the princesses out there.
And do you feel like that, like you put a part of yourself into that? Like, or at least you feel you put a lot of yourself into that?
Yeah, I think we have a lot in common, and I think that's why I can I am Marceline, so I kind of just brought a little bit of myself into it, and she's more like a punk rocker than I am, though. She's more badass than I am, but I try to be as cool as she is.
I have something about that. As to you doing the music in it, I think you knew this, that Penn Ward had heard the father-daughter album of Unspeakable Beauty that we did when we just had it as a demo. He heard this before he hired me to play her father on the show. So he was aghast and astonished before he found out that she was the little girl singing in Love Actually. So when he found out about her singing, I think that was part of it that made it the plan for it to be very musical.
I was just wondering, where do you get like a lot of your inspiration from, like to play Marceline and to really like get in depth and like be this character? Like, is there like a role model that you look to, or do you just model her after yourself?
I think it depends on the episode. Sometimes when I know I'm going in there and I'm like, okay, she's turning into this giant like octopus soul-sucking creature. I have to get into character for that. And we'll usually do that sort of stuff. Like we take a break halfway through or so, and I'll get my normal lines out of the way because I can just kind of be myself and not really worry about it. But then I'm like, okay, I need to break. I need to have some cookie and some fruit. And then I go in there and I'm like, raw. So it's weird. And then of course I have to end up singing a song after I scream for an hour and a half. So it's always great.
This goes out to Jessica, Olivia, and Martin. If you weren't voicing your current character in Adventure Time, who would you voice?
In the show?
Yeah.
I think I would be LSP.
That's what I was gonna say.
We all try to do like the best Penn impression, and it's just only John can do it.
LSP. It's just so much fun to do.
Or Gunter, because that's pretty just getting paid to just. That would be nice.
Who would you play?
Probably Finn. How about you, Martin?
I don't know. I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, Cinnamon Bun, too.
Cinnamon, yes.
When we have the episodes with Marceline's and the Iceland's past, we sort of got a peek into what the Land of Ooh was before. Is there gonna be more of that?
I hope so, because we, like Jessica was saying before, we don't know what's going on until we get the script for that episode. So I feel like, there's a really high possibility that I really hope that they're gonna, go into the pre-apocalyptic era of the Land of Ooh, because, there was actually people, and Finn wasn't maybe the only human, and where did all these candy people come from? There's so many questions, so I want to see too. I don't know.
Hi. It seems like there's been some hints as to like almost a relationship type past between Marcy and PB. Do you think that there will ever be anything revealed as to like what went on between them, if they were just really close friends, if they were in a relationship?
Well,
Watch yourself.
Yeah. Basically, this whole rumor that is going around, you guys created, because I actually, Ken Osborne, who directs us, I went and I'm like, really? You went there? And he's like, no, like I don't know where they came up with this. We just had it that they were friends. But one of the great things about the show is our writers and directors, they listen to what the fans say and they will roll with it so that, you know, you guys will kind of get what you want to see. So if you want to see something between us, keep tweeting about it, keep, you know, bugging the writers about it. If you don't want to see it, tell them not to, because we listen, they do listen.
We have time for one more question.
Yes. What were the expectations going in when doing a role for Flame Princess's voice and her character?
Well, I didn't really know much about her. I think Olivia said the same thing about Marceline, because it takes time to figure out where your character stands in the world, in you know, that in the world of Adventure Time, and what the relationships are with the other characters. So I think it took time, and it's still taking time for my character to evolve. And yeah, I didn't really have any expectations. I just rolled with it every single episode, and I'm very happy with the direction that they're taking Flame Princess. I think, yeah, the character's awesome. I think it's great.
Well, thank you very much for your questions, Eric. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the panelists, and let's give it up one more time.
You guys, I'm not going to be able to be at the signing today after this, but Jeremy Shada and John DiMaggio and myself are having a signing tomorrow between 1 and I think 4 upstairs. So come say hi.
And Olivia and I will have the signing after that.
2375.
Yes,
And then they have a signing at Abrams.
Yes, we have a signing at 6:45 tonight in the autograph area, table 21, and at the Abrams booth tomorrow at 3 p.m., 2228. Thanks again.
Thank you.